right, so let's bring up Steve Levy.
Steve Levy to the stage. Levy in the house? Or did Steve leave us? Steve Levy. Oh.
Steve Levy
is upstairs doing lines off another guy's wiener.
Don't you leave me.
Steve Levy, everybody.
Steve Levy.
Hey, everybody. Sorry, Church was telling me a fascinating story.
Steve arriving.
Say what?
No, Church was telling me a fascinating story backstage, and I...
About what?
Just personal stuff.
In a more primitive society, that would be a huge, like you came on stage and said, like, yeah, your girlfriend was off stage telling me some shit I can't talk about.
Well, I don't want to...
you don't want to cause no trouble.
This is not a forum to disclose anyone's stories. Don't necessarily... I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, we can't tell you.
All right.
I got a little educated, I think. I think the most important thing I learned is that it is that membrane. Like, I'm bad on the phone, man. Like, I tell people to call their congresspeople at the drop of a fucking hat, and I stand before you naked and trembling at the prospect of
We've been on a lot
phone.
of phone calls together, and I gotta say, some of them, you're really great. Others, not so great.
What is the difference, do you think?
How much attention you're paying and how much you actually care about what we're talking about, maybe?
Right, so a bad phone call would be one in which, like, everybody wants something from me, and I don't know why I'm on the call.
I don't know. Sometimes you turn those around and it's like you're a hero. But I can't...
I want to make you name examples so bad, but it'll only hurt me. And you just have this luxury. You're like Varys in Game of Thrones.
I don't know who that is.
Look it up.
Yeah, all right.
You'll be very
I don't watch
flattered.
Game of Thrones. You guys can all boo me. It's cool.
So for those of you just joining us tonight, we now play a game called Pathfinder, which is kind of like Dungeons & Dragons. Whoa, laptop.
Hey, guys. I'm just checking Reddit.
Hey, did you have any thoughts about... I haven't checked in with you politically. I mean, I know you and I both feel like the world's probably ending.
Oh, yeah.
You're still getting your ham radio license so that we can...
Oh, man. It's going great. It seems like it's really hard, though. I could see why they don't want everyone just doing it willy-nilly.
I saw on a Friday something about a ham radio. Is that...
Whoa!
Are you building a radio on a Friday?
I'm building a radio on Friday.
All right.
And it's going to be the biggest radio ever seen on the West Coast.
Is your new hobby lying?
I'm working on my improv. I yes-anded it. I did this podcast.
It's called a UCB radio.
I did this podcast on Saturday, and I really just feel like I shit the bed, and so like I just want to die. It's just, oh man, I just am feeling the worst.
Really?
Yeah, and everyone should download it and not listen it, so everyone thinks, oh wow, it really performed really well. But then don't listen to it, because otherwise you won't even be able to be honest about,
What did you think you
it.
did? What are you most embarrassed about?
I feel like I'm mechanically bad at talking. Like, if there were a race of talking, I would lose. Like, I would be like a fat person at talking. Like you talk a lot,
I do, but
so as a result,
Are you calling him fat?
No, he's
calling me Usain Bolt.
He's the marathon man of talking.
Yeah.
Well, like Malcolm Gladwell, 10,000 hours. It's like you've had a lot of practice at talking, but I feel like I probably just don't talk very much, and I'm bad at it as a result.
Well, I don't perceive it that way.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, what? Thank you so much.
Say what, madam? What was that?
Oh. Thank you. That's so nice.
It's definitely a soothing voice. Like, that's just...
But I don't know. just couldn't make sentences. It was just bad. It was bad news. I don't even want to talk.
Well, Spencer, you have a chance for redemption right now because now's your chance to talk as you recap our last episode of Pathfinder D&D.
That's okay. I wanted to help him with his anxieties before. We could have just teed up the worst D&D ever because he's like, yeah, I feel like I'm bad at talking. I fall asleep to you talking. I see you're good at talking. Yeah, maybe. Well, let's do D&D. You're in a forest. Fuck. You come upon me and a rope. I'm in the middle of something. I don't know. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying, like, I was worried about. I wanted to like put a pin in it, or not put a pin in it. An acupuncture pin.
I'm fine.
Do you think acupuncturists have when they say put a pin in it? Do you think they get confused? I could do stand up. I could do stand up. That's a stand up.
No, that's one
joke.
joke.
Do you think acupuncturists get confused? Like, why do you mean? Why do people keep talking about putting a pin in it? That means deal with it right now.
When you tell them to put a pin in, they're always finishing the task right then.
Like an acupuncturist
like,
comes to your book club and goes like, well, I think we should have a policy for which books we choose. Well, let's put a pin in that. I'm trying to.
Putting a pin right now.
Where was this at the top
I'm lighting
of the
it
show?
on fire.
You're only 4.5 minutes away from a set. You got that one joke.
In 92. All right. Anyway, sorry, I got excited about that. But I want to put an acupuncture pin in your
tits.
And now we don't want to deal with it now.
He wants to put a pin in your tits.
I mean, who doesn't these days? Well, it's fine. I just wanted to express that because, it might come out on the internet sometimes that I was on a podcast. And I don't want anyone to listen to it, but I do want them to download it.
What I admire about you, and I think a lot of our audience would agree with me, is that when you talk, you call your shots, and it's usually very accurate.
I was bad. I agree with that in a general sense on my best times, but I was just off my game. It's like, it's just sometimes you have a bad day.
Yeah.
It was just bad. But now I'm just sitting in it. I'm like, man, really just fucked up.
I went on Kumail and Emily's podcast once, and I was so fucking happy because all they wanted to do was talk about video games because that's what the whole podcast was about.
Oh, yeah.
I was so excited just to talk about video games. I walked out of there so happy, and then, I read 2 tweets.
Right.
No one's going to, tweet and go, that was fine, that was fine. It was the 2 guys that were like, don't let Harmon explain computer science ever again. He doesn't get it. That's not, he tried, I'm always, wrong about shit. I feel awful, and I want to go into a cave and, eat my own leg.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't...
Dan, eating doesn't solve all your problems.
But unless you eat your own body, then it solves itself.
It solves...
That's true.
Yeah.
It's kind of like weight loss.
If you could turn your own body into poop, you'd lose weight.
You could poop your own leg.
Eat your own leg.
If you
and then
poop your own leg, you're like, wow, I weighed 15 pounds less than I did before I ate my leg.
But a smart person would say, yes, but you just cut your ability to exercise in half. And you're going to regret that. You're going to be sitting there and you're going to be eating, you're not going to be able to eat much anymore, and you're going to slowly die. So what I'm saying to you is, I get it. Just keep hanging out with me, and you'll always look better.
Yeah.